Alrighty, so this is the final part of my day, and that is going to pick up my roommate. And because of the shitty apartment complex that we live in, when I drop him off, I always have a really good parking space because most people are at work. You see that car that just passed by me? They're about to park, and that's right, yeah, they are. And when we come back, there's never any parking, so either we have to park outside the apartment complex, or we, just like in the dirt or whatever, or, we end up parking like all the way in the back of the complex where no one actually lives anymore. But only rarely is there any parking back there. Often, we'll go back there and there'll be nothing, and there'll be literally no parking anywhere. And sometimes we'll have to park up front, not in any of the parking space, just wherever there's like just empty, concrete that's, or whatever that people can drive around, just wherever we're not going to be in the way. So that's probably the worst part of my day. The rest of my day is pretty casual. Haven't gotten the email yet that I know of from the people about the film, about what time I need to be there. Or rather, I have the time, I just don't have the location, which is pretty common. Doing any kind of film shoot, normally they don't send out the call sheets until like the night of, or 12 hours before the first person has to be there, kind of thing. And a lot of that's just because it's so shooting a film, especially if it's an independent film, is so off the cuff, is so shooting from the hip. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. There's a lot of things that can change. There's a lot of people that can quit or call in sick or get injured because we didn't have enough backups, or maybe because it's an independent film, sometimes the location, there's problems with like the location where we're filming or whatever, so sometimes that happens. But I'm done with technically the voiceover that I have to do, but I forgot about this one project that I was working on, and it wasn't like for a client, it was just something for me. And it was another one of those game dev market packets. Someone wanted, because I did this game announcer voice kind of thing for like Battle Royale or, versus or fighting games. And someone said they liked it, they just wished there was effects. And so, due to the fact that I give everyone these individual separate files in both MP3 and WAV, due to the fact that everything's separate, they kind of don't want to just edit the whole, put the effects in themselves and then separate all the files, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. So I was going to do another one, which actually has more lines, I think. I actually did more versions. And this one was going to have the effects and like heavy effects on it. So hopefully people like it. So I'm probably going to do that tonight. I've already recorded and done all the effects. All I got to do is just separate the files and then convert, all the files after they're all separate, because I normally convert them into WAV because it's a larger format, and then I will convert them into MP3 with a converter, because MP3 is just so crushed as it is. So, it's not really going to hurt anything. But do that, and so I'll probably do that before the end of the night. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I haven't decided on what video I'm going to upload to YouTube for Saturday. Tons of suggestions, but since I have so many that are backlog, I want to get through those before I start recording more. Now, a lot of the ones that I showed before, like all these individual ones, some of those are to go together, some of those are just different cuts. They're all one project, so it's not as many as it looked, but yeah, it's a shame. Yeah, it's pretty casual day. Pretty casual life. I mean, the stressful part is collecting money from clients. Like I said, there's one client that I have that basically has refused to pay me. And sometimes you got to deal with that. But they're wanting more work out of me. They haven't paid me for a while, and they're wanting more work out of me. And, you know, we have a contract, we have an agreement, and sometimes, you know, you got to just work out. I don't know if it's they're just blatantly refusing to pay me. I think it's more that they just don't know that they, I mean, despite how many times, you know, told them. I don't want to get into this too much, you know, because I don't want to dog on any of my clients. It's just, you know, it's why I do this. I do this because I need to pay bills. I do voiceover because I need to pay bills, and I can't pay bills if I'm not getting paid for voiceover. But that is something that, you know, you are going to have to deal with. There's no way of not getting stiffed at some point in time. You will get shafted eventually doing voiceover. And that's actually where I wish I had, you know, a manager and an agent to really help me with that side of it. Because managers and agents they're supposed to be aggressive. You know, you as the talent are always supposed to be happy and friendly and nice and cheery and chipper, and, you know, people don't want to hear, you know, constant badgering about payment from the client. You know, if it comes from an agent or a manager, they understand. Like, for some weird reason, even though they're saying the same thing, people just go, oh yeah, it's the agent, this is what he does, he gets money, that's his thing. You know, I don't hold it over him. You know, there are some agents that go too far and they become like kind of jerks, you know, and that's never okay. And there are, you know, managers that do the same thing. They'll hound too much, or become a little too aggressive. But it's the kind of thing that you expect from managers and agents, to be the hounding of that, the hounder of that stuff. Yeah. I'm hoping that if all this keeps building, because every year, except for the whole Fiverr cutting my legs out from underneath me, every year seems to be better than the last. Yeah, the whole Fiverr thing did take a huge chunk out of my life. So, if it wasn't for that, yeah, that was big. Which, by the way, I don't think they themselves have ever responded. There's been some people on Fiverr that I've talked to. Like, there's forums. I've gone on there on the forums, and I've, you know, voiced my concerns, or voiced the problem that I had with Fiverr. And some people have given, you know, some advice. Some people have said from their point of view. Some people, you know, all this kind of stuff. You know, some people actually say some stuff that's conflicting to what I've actually been told from Fiverr. Like, someone was saying, it's like, oh, no, they only penalize you for not responding to the first message, you know, the initially responding. You know, if you respond once and then never talk to that person again, should be fine. And I was like, well, that's not what happened to me, though. That's not what Fiverr said. So, I mean, I would like that to be the case. Maybe that's changed. I don't know. But it's not what happened to me. The people, you know, that I got penalized for were people that I had, you know, contacted. Except for that one that, you know, was listed as spam, not by me, but as someone else that I couldn't respond to. And Fiverr said, no, yeah, that's, you know, they were just blocked for whatever reason. And Fiverr was like, yeah, no, they're one of the ones that, you know, you didn't respond to. And I was like, well, I couldn't respond to them. They were blocked. They were unavailable. They were inaccessible. So, I don't know. But, and yes, some people have said that my video about Fiverr concerned them, scared them a little bit. And don't let that be the case. There's no platform that you're going to ever be on that's going to be perfect. There's not a single platform. There's not a single website. There's not a single, way of doing business. There's not a single agency. There's not a single, city that you could move to. There's no perfect scenario. You're going to deal with shit at some point in time. You're going to have to deal with awful people, awful clients, awful situations at some point in time. Now, I'm lucky that I don't work with that many, bad clients. I don't think any of the clients that I work with on a regular basis, I would even, because I consider them really cool, good people. Pretty much everyone that I work with on a regular basis. No one is like, oh, not them again. Oh, God. Everyone that, comes to me on a regular basis, I'm, always delighted. I'm always happy. Some of them I've actually gotten the pleasure of building a little bit more of a relationship with. Some of them I've gotten to meet, some I've gotten to Skype, all this kind of stuff, and that's really cool. I love that. I don't think there's, but every now and then you are going to get some, people that message you that are, terrible, but don't make them clients if they're really trying to, hurt you in some inappropriate way, financially. Oh, okay, don't hit me. Thank you. All right, pulling in. All right, well, now I'm here to pick up my roommate, and then I'm going home, and that's it for the day. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, yeah, it's a day in the life of me. Maybe I'll do this again when, my work situation, when because this is actually pretty typical of a day for me. So when that changes and it becomes a little bit more, I don't know, when there's something more to show, when there's something more that I think you guys could learn from, or something more interesting, or, I don't know, more work, more business, and better, not better clients, but just higher clientele, then maybe. But until then, yeah, this is pretty much it. This was pretty much a full day in life of me. So anyway, bye.